This is Straight Good Just Alexander, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Jay Will, and I'm down to dunk.
The hat. Here we go.
I'm Isaiah Hartenstein, and I'm down to dunk.
I hope savior of basketball has won.
Well, the Dortcher Chamber has been going pretty well.
I'm Aaron Wiggins, and I'm down to dunk.
I'm Chet Holmgren, and I'm down to dunk.
I'm Mark Dagnall, and I'm down to dunk.
He just does a big smile and
I feel blessed by God to be here with Down to Dunk, be here with you.
I'm Alex Caruso, and I'm down to dunk.
I'm AJ Mitchell, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Isaiah Joe, and I'm down to dunk.
Oh, jeez. Are you going to sing it good enough for me to guess it, or?
Panhandle. Jeez. I'm tweaking.
Name 2 famous Oklahomans.
Myself and Jalen Williams.
Is that a crazy answer?
All my friends call me Bob.
Where's Rachel? Unique story. You lived a whole life.
Plain?
Plain.
This is Kason Wallace, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Lou Dort, and I'm down to Dort.
True blood Oklahoma.
That's right. Pretty exciting, if you ask me.
This is J-Dub, world champion J-Dub, and I'm down to dunk. And eat burgers.
Welcome to Down to Dunk. I'm your host, Andrew Schlecht. We're part of the Athletic Podcast Network. Before I get to my good friend, Michele Berra, I want to tell you about 2 other friends of mine, Aaron and Drew Reese of Shelter Insurance. You can give Aaron a call, 405-773-5500, and you can call Drew or text him if you're into that, 405-478-7714 today. You're going to need a good insurance company to help back you up when something happens to your house, your rental property, maybe your boat or your car. You need somebody that's going to be in your corner. These guys can do that very well, but they also are good guys that you want to get to know, and guys that love the Thunder. So support the people that support Down to Dunk, and give a call to Aaron or Drew Reese, spelled R-U-I-Z, by the way. With me on a Monday afternoon is my good friend Michele Berra. Michele, what's up?
Well, since I've changed the location, this is the first time where everything seems to be all right. So I'm quite happy. That is good, hopefully good for the audience. Last few weeks have been, I would say, up and down. Not like the Thunder.
Not like the Thunder at all. Who
Jeez.
they just dismantled the Jazz. The Jazz led 1-0, and that was their only lead the whole game. No Shea, no Dort, no Hartenstein, no Caruso, no Isaiah Joe. And it was a complete debacle for the Utah Jazz, who you want to praise the Thunder for what they did. The Thunder are an absolute machine.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to give credit to so many people for this to be the case. One, I think you have to give credit to Mark and to Sam for the system that they put in place. And then I think you honestly have to give some credit to Shea, because there are a lot of superstars where the entire organization, the entire offense, everything revolves around them. And then when you remove them from it, the team looks really bad. And some people take that as a really good thing. Oh, see, they can't function without him. But actually,
me and you in 2015?
That's right. That's exactly right. Listen, I'm spin zone. I think it's actually an interesting leadership thing that's attached to Shea, that people can just plug in and be part of what they do. Shea is good enough to demand that everything revolve around him, and that the entire organization, the entire offense, everything should and could revolve around him if he so requested. But he is willing to be part of what they do, and not to say that he doesn't dominate the ball at times. He does, because he's that good. But the fact that he can miss time and they can still play this system that's in place is also a credit to him in some ways. And so I just think that clearly this is a special team that we get to watch together during this time. This is a really, really special organization, obviously, but a special team. And the Jazz are the opposite of this. This is the most forgettable, awful Jazz team. They gave no effort.
Yeah.
Will Hardy was, I don't know if you saw the clip of Will Hardy screaming at these guys on the bench. That was being passed around on social media yesterday.
I missed that.
It Yeah, he was just not saying nice words to these guys. He's just
Yeah.
talking about how tired he was of asking them to play hard. They did not play hard at all. Like there were
No.
stretches during the third quarter where you're just like, man, like this looks like some of the middle school basketball that I've been watching recently. Like this is really bad.
They were not interested in play any defense.
Yeah.
That is, and offensively, I mean, Case and Wallace had 2 moments where, nope, you cannot dribble like that. Next possession, I told you, and like the. I mean, it's back to Shea though. Before getting into this great game that we watched, I watched this morning. You probably watched yesterday. I mean, Shea is automatic. That is absurd. Those shots against the Mavs were insanely difficult. He made that that one against Najee Marshall, who is like a very good defender, not a great one, and he just like it wasn't there.
Yeah.
I mean, he's taking this 22, 24 feet jumpers from the dribble like it's nothing, stepping, sidestepping, whatever. It's just insane, the difficulty of those shots and the fact that we all believe that those are going in. There is no doubt in my mind when he takes those kind of shots that I would say 2 out of 3 go in. It's not 2 out of 3. I know that is probably around 54, 55%, but it's 54, 55%. I don't have the correct number in front of me, but I guess it's close to that.
He was unreal in that game. I mean, he had 33 points on 12 field goals.
Yeah.
I mean, just doesn't even make sense what he accomplished that night. And apparently doing it with bursitis and his elbow and who knows, like he missed the game last night due to that bursitis. I'm just guessing. I don't know if this is like something that will linger or something that will keep him out for any length of time. It does feel like a game where it's like, hey, we've got to get Shea some rest at some point, and this feels like a good time to do it. Could be as little as that. It could be as much as we need to keep him out for a little bit. I would be a little surprised if we didn't see him playing in this game on Wednesday night against the Phoenix Suns for the Cup. But again, we're operating with little information, but it does seem like a game that you could say, you know what? I think our guys can go up and play against the Jazz and do just fine. And they did a good job of picking those games last year. I think there were 6 games that they played without Shea last year. They were 5-1 during those games. And now they are 1-0 in games without Shea this year. And some of it's just about picking your spots.
Mm-hmm.
Where if they can get him 6 games of rest again and go 5-1, you're feeling pretty good about it. So I do kind of trust the organization to find these spots for him to get rest. Because like the ultimate goal at the end of this is not to win 75 games. It's to go and win another NBA championship and become legendary. You can become legendary by winning a certain amount of games. However, we saw with the Warriors that you got to go win the title too.
Yeah.
People do talk about the regular season record, but you got to go win the title too, because when people mention that team, they always mention in the same breath that they lost the title that year. So you just don't want to be that team.
Yeah. By the way, Shea is taking 7.5 pull-ups per game from 2-point range. Is hitting 55.5% of them. That is absolutely nuts. That is non-existent in basketball history, I think. Again, I'm struggling to find in my mind a guy that was hitting more than 55% of his 2-pointers from mid-range.
It's a layup. It's a layup. Once he gets separation, it's a layup. It is just bananas what he's been able to do.
Yeah. It's just insane. I mean, the fact that it's not the main talking point. I know there is the clutchness of Shea, which is, by the way, real. It's the fact that his team is winning. and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, depending who you're reading or listening to. But the fact that he is the most efficient, high volume shooting guard of all time,
Yeah.
it's Jordan did not have this kind of efficiency. Period. It's a reality, and it made me almost laugh. I was reading a tweet that was basically commenting on the fact that LeBron double-digit streak was over, and the first tweet of I don't remember who that was, say, "Hey, Shea will never get there." Guess what? it's true. I mean, LeBron James is literally top 2, and I'm not saying he's first or second. I don't really care all time, but LeBron never sniffed something like Shea is doing. Efficiency-wise, in terms of shot distribution, I mean, LeBron was very efficient because of the shot diet. It was almost like a big man, but never ever had the streak long as Shea of 20 or more points, which is an insane feat in modern era. So I'm not saying, and I don't want to say, and I don't want to be taken as he's better than LeBron. He's not. LeBron again is top 2 in my mind, but there's literally no other example in history. Maybe Steph gets close to that because of the 3-point shot, but the 3-level scoring with this kind of efficiency it's really rare.
Yeah. This game he had against the Mavericks the other night, only 8 other players that I can find, at least in StatHead, which goes back pretty far, have had at least 33, 5 and 5 on 12 or less field goal attempts. And it's Trae Young, Charles Barkley, Jokic, Alvin Robertson, Shea, Yao Ming, Sidney Moncrief, and Zion Williamson. Like what a weird one. What a weird list. And 2, it's just a very special, rare game that he had the other night where, and a lot of it is these guys took a lot of free throws. He actually took the second fewest amount of free throws in this game. Charles Barkley, man, we're talking about free throw merchants. Charles Barkley took 24 free throws to get to that number.
That's an Austin Reeves number.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Everybody else had close to 20. Yao Ming had 19. Sidney Moncrief had 18. Zion had 12, which is what Shea had. The only person that had less was Jokic. This was in 2018. So this is a while ago for Jokic.
Yeah.
But
is 18 possessions. To score that much on 18 shooting possession,
makes no
it's
sense.
Unreal. And probably he had 2 and 1, so it's actually less possessions. It's probably I don't know, 20. Probably 17 possessions. That is not real.
Yeah,
it's 2 points per shooting possession. That is, hey, I hit 10 threes, on one night because it happened. That is the kind of game that is right there. But Shea did it with a variety of shots, including threes.
Yeah, it's wild what he was doing on Friday night in OKC. Last night, no Shea, like I said earlier, and they just pummeled them. And some of it is J-Dub looked more like J-Dub yesterday, which I think is a pretty big deal. Just to see him kind of shake off a little bit more rust. It's certainly easier whenever the team you're playing against just opts out of playing defense. That's helpful. But also, it's just good to see him kind of looking more like himself. He was 11 of 19 from the field. Great that he got 19 shots up, too. He took 3 threes. He was 1 of 3 from 3. He was one of the guys who actually made his free throws last night.
That was weird.
Jay Will missed them both. Chet missed them both. Brandon Carlson, who was on fire everywhere but the free throw line, missed both of his as well. Thunder made more threes than free throws and had a much better percentage from 3 than from the free throw line, which is just a strange thing. But it was good to see Dub. I mean, he had 25, 3, and 8 with 2 steals. He had some dunks. The fact that he's taking threes, I think, is good. Still just is going to take time for that wrist to feel completely right. And I think that, one, the Thunder are doing just fine with him figuring it out. And two, he's still just an effective player. Like if we're talking defensively, offensively, like he's still an extremely effective player out there. It's just nice to see the offense get going for him.
Yeah, and the fact that he is also trying to be the receiver on cuts of passes, taking shots, not just self-created, but also like in the flow of the offense. I think that is something that OKC is trying to do for Shea as well. I really think that this is something that was lacking in the playoffs last year. The pressure at the rim was lacking, and I think that Mr. AJ Mitchell will provide a bit of that. And again, Dub is providing a little bit of that. Chet is providing a little bit. We need to talk about Chet. But anyhow,
yes,
I really think that it was an opportunity, as we all said, when Dub went down. I don't think that nobody would like that to happen, but when it happened, it allowed for basically some rehearsal of what it can be without him, like training another ball handler, having Chet and Hartenstein a little bit more active offensively. And now, I mean, J-Dub can slide in because he's a great off-ball player. And I think that part of the issue of OKC last year was not being able to basically use J-Dub enough as an off-ball guy, because we all needed for him to be the secondary ball handler. Now, OKC has plenty of them. Kazon is getting reps. It's not going great, but he is getting there. Caruso is fantastic as always. And the fact that now you can have J-Dub as well, and you have J-Dub playing awesome defense, the shot will come. He always has been a great shooter, so I'm not really worried about that. But the fact that he's moving around and getting passes from his teammates, it's a great sign.
Yeah, specifically, there's an instance where Jay Will is out on the wing, which he's being guarded now, and so like the defense, which was probably the worst defense we've seen all year. I mean, they had the biggest lead the Thunder have had all season against this team. Which is funny because like this is a team that actually played them pretty well not that long ago when Shea was in the lineup, but Markkanen was playing, and it's just a different squad.
Yeah, they were hitting basically every single shot that they took.
Yeah,
that helps.
But like just attracting defense was great. Like just to see him, attract defense from the corner, and then as the Jazz were lulled to sleep, J-Dub cuts and gets an easy bucket. It's just like that kind of stuff that can translate throughout the season for him. And so, yeah, I mean, we have a very rare, I mean, I guess the term that Mark always uses is uncommon. And it's true. Like they're a pretty uncommon group in that you have this superstar level player in J-Dub who is like willing to do a lot of little stuff, and I was in the locker room the other day. J-Dub, the thing he was excited about like the 2-man game between he and Chet, but he was also like really excited about like some screens that he had, and was talking about like how great his screening was. It's like there aren't many superstars that are out there bragging about their screens and how like they had a rescreen on a play, and like that was like one of the coolest things he could think of, that he had in that game. So I mean, it just kind of tells you like the mentality that these guys have is super uncommon.
Yeah, and like noticing these things. For example, I paused in a possession because I was watching the game with my son. I said, "Dad, was that a good screen?" And when I hear these comments, I said, "Oh, yep, we need to rewatch it immediately." And it was like J-Dub, J-Will pick and roll, where J-Will initially screened out J-Dub man and then went to Nurk and screen him out as well. The rescreen that you were discussing was made by J-Will this time, and it was like basically a dunk for J-Dub. These kind of things are niche things, but it's also why people like J-Will are not really doing much in terms of box score. But over the last 2 games, Jay Will did so many things.
Yeah, he did.
So many things. Against the Mavs, he was crucial in holding one of the best big men of this era, basically scoreless. And Nurk tried 3 times. Jay Will was there 3 times. He was completely out of the game.
Yeah, no.
These things are extremely important. They don't go in the box score. You're not getting too much praise out of those, but those are winning plays. And Jay Will, I mean, he started the season awfully, I think, shooting wise. I mean, and now he's getting there. It's not like the second part of last season where he was hitting everything, but he's getting into a more solidified role. I mean, when he's out there, things are working. And this is extremely important because, I mean, you have 2 bigs, great. But having Jay Will and being able to play him with Hartenstein, with Chet as a Jokic/Nurk/AD defender, this is something that is really, really important. And it's important for the postseason.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of amazing watching this team this year because almost everybody's better. Like it's everybody, like it's certainly like the big flashing lights are like AJ Mitchell and Shea's improvements have been huge. Chet Holmgren's obviously very improved, but like watch Isaiah Joe, watch Aaron Wiggins, watch Jason Wallace, watch Isaiah Hartenstein, and Jay Will. Like all these guys are better players than they were last year. And it's just blatantly obvious,
Usman Jang is better. Sorry.
Us played good yesterday.
Yeah,
I'll give him that. Yeah.
We need to talk about Chet.
Yeah, I was gonna say you talked about pull-up shooting, and he's now a guy I think about. That pull-up 2 on the season, he's 50% on pull-up 2s himself.
Wow.
Which it's not nearly as much as Shea. Obviously, that's Shea's bread and butter, but Chet is doing quite well. And I mean, his versatility offensively is being magnified. I think that J-Dub being back has helped him quite a bit. I think those 2 can create off one another so well. And Chet getting to the basket, Chet shooting jumpers, Chet, cutting himself. Jay Will actually found Chet for a running easy dunk last night too, as he kind of cut from the perimeter. I mean, he looks like a superstar. Like he looks like he could easily be the man on a team. Like if he was on the Pistons or if he was on Charlotte or whoever, I think we're probably talking about Chet a whole lot more, than we are. Like at least nationally, people are talking about Chet a whole lot more than they do now. And it's because like this guy is a 3-level scorer. He can play with his back to the basket. He can face up. He just embarrassed Flip on multiple occasions. I mean, Flip, God bless Flip, but the guy cannot hold Chet at all.
No.
I mean, it was really kind of embarrassing. Him and Nurk were they had no chance. And it was cool to see him dunk as smoke just is billowing from the above the goal. And it felt fitting once he dunked it. You almost like, man, have like Jazz ops like given up and just like, all right, this is freaking cool watching this team play, and we'll just add to it. We'll just add smoke.
Just fire up something.
Golly. And we don't need to talk. We don't need to belabor it because I think everybody's kind of seen this. But it was a very weird game for the Jazz game ops people with the smoke going off twice for long periods of time. This wasn't like a 30-second stoppage. It was like we had 3 halftimes.
Yeah.
Really 4 halftimes, including the one actual halftime. It was just a long stoppages. It was almost like they saw how hot the Thunder were. It's like, well, let's try to ice them a little bit and like sit them out. And
didn't work.
Maybe it will help. Did not help. And then the shot clocks just didn't work. In which, just very, very weird. Very, very weird.
They basically try to reset the whole thing at the basket and like the shot clock protested?
Probably. There's probably like electronics that are all tied together there, and somebody's in trouble. Somebody's in trouble today because that was an embarrassment. It's like, you're embarrassing us in front of the best team in the NBA, you know.
Not the worst thing that happened to the Jazz. Well, maybe yes, because like losing is actually something that they should do more often.
Yeah, they need to lose more.
Yeah, but also it was like a real bad performance from many of the players. I mean, it's okay if you want to have nerd like not being interested in anything. Svi, same. Tanking master, everybody knows that. But your young guys, they should be a little bit more fired up. You can still lose, but you can try to have meaningful minutes. And it was not the case. Really not the case.
Yeah, it's rough. They don't have, and the Thunder have been lucky in that like both of their rebuilds, they have basically started their rebuilds with their guys. The Thunder haven't ever really been in a position as a franchise where they start their rebuild with essentially no real building blocks. The Thunder started the last one before they got to Oklahoma City. They had Kevin Durant already. Like that's like the ultimate building block. And the Thunder had Shea already before they even started this rebuild. That's the ultimate building block. There's some luck involved with both of those. One, that Shea was available and he's actually as good as he is certainly a piece of that luck. But you saw that, I think Markkanen's good, but is he necessarily a guy you should be building around? They're saying they want to, which is interesting. I don't blame them for wanting to keep him around. I understand it. But also I don't know how they're going to become like a legit playoff team unless they have some real luck here at the lottery. And if things don't go well, which has happened for many teams, let's say a couple teams jump the Jazz and they're at like
it's a disaster.
Could fall down to the Thunder still.
Yeah.
Like that's still a possibility. And so they've really kind of put themselves in a bad position here where like they need to lose more games. And it's not hard to lose to the Thunder. I think almost everybody agrees with that. So they did that, but they need to be committed one way or the other. And we haven't seen that yet. More on Chet. I think he deserves a little bit more shine. We talked about that pull-up jumper. I feel like that's kind of becoming part of his like go-to move. Is that he can just pull up on a dime as a big man.
Yeah.
He's shown himself to be like a pretty credible threat as a driver too. Like his handle just looks better.
Yeah. I was looking into that.
Yeah, he looks stronger. Well, okay, yeah, tell me about that.
Yeah, basically last year, he was 63.2 effective field goal when he didn't take any dribble. With one dribble, still pretty high. Sometimes it's just dribbling and dunking. But when you go to two or more, it was like two dribbles, 38% from the field, 38% effective field goal, and more than two dribbles, 34% effective field goals. And he took like more than two dribbles, just 2.8 shots per game, basically.
Oh, wow. Okay.
This year, two or more dribble is basically shooting 50%, and three or more dribble, 58% effective field goal, or 57% from the field. So that is, and the amount of shots are a little bit up, not really too much. It's 3.2 instead of 2.7. So the amounts are not really changing all that much, but the efficiency is on a different level. And he's also better at no dribbles or one dribble. So basically his overall efficiency is getting up. And last year I remember like us discussing, and also the Fry pod crew discussing, well, when Chad put the ball on the court, it's a hit or miss. Right now, it's way more consistent. And I mean, last season, it was like on and off. Most time was losing the ball, causing a turnover, or not being particularly efficient. I mean, he's getting there. He's generating free throws, and he's just better. He finds ways to basically keeping the ball a little bit higher and then finishing with his weird hands, arms movements that only he can do. And is way more effective at that. If you pair with the fact that now he has a credible pull-up, as you were saying, and the three ball is legit. He's a 3-level scorer.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's making like this leap in real time.
Yeah,
and is an all-star level player. Like he should make the all-star team. Like, I think it's a no-brainer to have both Shea and Chet on the all-star team this year. I think I would go ahead and lock that in.
yeah,
And then I think Dub should still be able to make it, even though he's not going to be playing a ton. But I think he will be front of mind. The Thunder will be front of mind for everybody just because of their record. You know,
Yeah.
that's going to be a reality for the league. Is like both these guys deserve to be all-stars, and I don't think that's a question. Like they all got max contracts, and no one really flinched. And if you did, you made a big mistake because like all these guys are unbelievable players, and so it's yeah, I don't know, man. He's still really young. Like this is essentially year 3 Chet, because he missed his whole first year. And so like seeing this at 23 years old, you know, and he's, what is he, 18, 8 with two assists and a block and a half, and his defense is unbelievable. And he's taken on more offensive responsibilities here and there. I mean, he's just, I don't know, like he's still just scratching the surface of what he can be. And he's already one of the best defenders. I think he leads the pack in defensive player of the year odds, at least at this point. And I don't know, man, this is an elite player that I think is still just figuring it out in some ways. So
yeah, and the fact that 50% of your cap is 2 players, that good, that is mind-boggling. I know that with Chet, a lot of the injury stuff is the reason why, but also having J-Dub at that figure is insane. Those two guys can be maybe like super max players one day. They both can get there.
Well, yeah,
they both probably will get there.
Yeah, no question. No, like I don't even know that that's a question in my mind that those guys are going to get to that point. Because I mean, if you're an Eastern Conference team, heck, even if you're a Western Conference team, and these are your 2 best players, I think you feel really good about it. I think you feel like it's certainly if you're in the Eastern Conference and those are your 2 best players, I think they can make the finals this year.
That's not like an insane sentence. That is actually
the Pistons are a team that people are saying like that team could make the finals. And Chet is a better offensive and defensive player than Duren.
Yeah.
Right now. I think that Cade is, and I don't even know if that's true. I think that Cade and Dub are not far off from the kinds of players that they are.
Yeah.
I think Dub is that good. Dub just hasn't been given like just everything that Cade has been given as far as touches and leadership and all that stuff. And he doesn't need it because he is like the ultimate Robin to Shea's Batman.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but I do think like those two, if somehow this was the team, and I asked the question on Twitter, and I asked in a couple different text groups about like how many wins does this current version of the Thunder have without Shea, without Ihart, without Dort, without Caruso, without Joe? Like how many games do you win? I mean, it's at least a 500 team, which is insane because you're talking about 5 like key rotation players. Key rotation players like is a crazy phrase for some of these guys, but that's the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
Expectation all the way up to literally the MVP of the league and the guy that should win MVP this year too, who I think he is the leader currently. Let me look at the BetMGM odds. But like Shea's been the best player in the NBA this year.
Yeah.
Like he straight up has been the best player in the NBA this year. And yet, like the Thunder have this depth that is just bananas. Like I don't know. Like we're watching true greatness. And I hope that everybody realizes what you're watching and can appreciate it, because what you're watching is
It's not normal.
80s Celtics, 90s Bulls, mid-aughts Golden State Warriors. Like you are watching one of the all-time teams, period. That's what you're watching right now.
Yeah.
And watching them at the start of what should be a really sustainable run, because we've all talked about the draft picks that are coming. Like they could cash in something crazy this next summer, draft pick wise. They have everybody locked up. They'll have to eventually make decisions on guys, but you also have them making picks like AJ Mitchell. And whatever happens this summer, I don't know. I mean, like it's not going to be easy to make some of these decisions, but when you have young guys that are on rookie scale deals that are coming up, it makes it a little bit more palatable to have to let guys go or trade them. And perhaps they could trade some of the guys that are on the roster now for future picks that people are going to be like, how the heck did they get this? Well, it's because they traded so-and-so for this pick, and that team did not go in the right direction. And here the Thunder are in 2032 with the first pick again. Like, how is this happening? And it's because like it's very intentional planning by the front office. I think there aren't many worlds where this is the outcome after you like start all of this stuff back in the Poku days. Like, yeah, you hope you get to this point, but there's no guarantees, and there needed a lot of luck along the way to get here. But the intentional planning was all there for this to potentially happen, and it just happened to unfold in one of the more magical ways you could have ever wanted it to.
Yeah, and again, things now are going great. I don't think that this changes anything about the plan for the future. Sure, if you win again, probably your investors will be likely more inclined to pay a little bit more to keep this machine together, because I mean, winning titles is something that really boosts your investment value and in general the value of the franchise. So that can change, but I don't think that the strategic planning that Presti made happen in the past few years and will make happen in the next few years is really result dependent. It's about like having options in the future, having options now. Probably everyone, excluding Usman Jang, has trade value, which is insane. It's just
yeah. You could get at least positive value for everybody but Us at this point.
Yeah, and maybe, just maybe, if Us has like 3 or 4 games like this in the next few weeks for reasons, you can get like a top 40 second rounder protected. Top 40 protected second rounder.
You could get like a fake-ish second for him, sure.
That is positive value. That means that every of your choices in the past are not a liability for the future.
Yeah.
That is not nothing.
I mean, when you think about like what they gave up for Us and the pick that they chose, like I don't know. Like it's all sunk cost at this point. And I won't belabor any Us points, but
yes, but that is I know that the net value of Usman Jang operation, it's not positive. I'm not saying that everything that Presti did is a positive value for the future.
Yeah.
But right now, in this moment, I think that there is nothing of a liability in the future for this team.
Yeah.
Which is extremely important.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. There's no like big contract weighing them down. They didn't waive Damian Lillard or, have any of these things hanging over them, or a contract that is like, man, I don't know if they can move that. Even Utah has a lot of problems, but like that marketing contract is not the easiest thing to move at this point. And so, like, yeah, the Thunder don't have anything like that. I mean, if the Thunder put anybody on the trade market, people would be all about it. I mean, teams like Jay Will, there are teams that would love to have Jay Will.
Yeah.
For
even Caruso's contract, which is not a great contract because it's an 80 million contract of a guy that is injury prone. I think that there are contenders that will be
are you kidding?
so willing to give you a lot for Alex Caruso. And that is in the future probably one of the riskiest contract for OKC because of the health, not because of the type of player. And they are trying to manage that contract right now in making him play only the strictly needed number of games in order to have him ready for the postseason.
Yeah.
Because that is a contract that pays itself in the postseason.
Oh.
So this is a fantastic point. And again, it's not that OKC never made a mistake. They made plenty of mistakes in the draft in the past few years.
Yeah, and it's not even like an indictment on anybody. Like the Oos pick is not an indictment on the team. Everybody made that. Everybody makes mistakes. The draft is incredibly difficult. It's incredibly difficult to hit, and no one hits every time. I mean, the Warriors are a team that was once in this place because they hit on Steph and Clay and Draymond, and it's amazing. Since those three guys, they have had a rough time.
Oh yeah,
with the NBA draft.
And they had possibilities. They had multiple bites with players available.
Yeah, they were almost like in this exact spot. They were just older when it happened, but they had the number 2 overall pick. They had the number 7 overall pick in the draft, and they whiffed on both of them. And like that, that has really killed the longevity of what they're doing. And they DMP CD for Kuminga yesterday.
Yeah.
There's just
something is brewing there. And even Moses Moody, who is like a fine player.
Yeah, he's
where does he rank on the Thunder, in your opinion?
I mean, I like Wiggs better. So
yeah. So we're talking 8, 9, 10?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah. So even that pick was not like a fantastic pick. It was a good pick.
It's fine. It's fine. He's an NBA rotation player. He's an NBA rotation player. Yeah. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about the NBA Cup a little bit. And more stats. I want to talk a little bit of lineup data too, since we've got a little bit more of that. So we'll be right back. And we're back after that quick break. Before we talk more about the NBA Cup and the Thunder, I want to tell you about my friends over at Ring Family Dentistry. Ring Family Dentistry takes a straightforward and honest approach to dental care. Drs. Frill and Brennan Ring believe in keeping what's healthy, fixing what's not, and only replacing what truly needs it. No pressure, no upselling, just clear explanations, thoughtful recommendations, and decisions that are always up to you. Ring Family Dentistry is a true family practice with a laid-back vibe, modern tech, and high-quality work, including same-day crowns, even for your front teeth. Plus implants, bridges, root canals, and clear aligner therapy, all offered in-house. Call or schedule your appointment today, 405-621-1555, or make an appointment online at ringfamilydentistry.com. So the Thunder play the Phoenix Suns in the NBA Cup game. Winner goes to Vegas, so that's exciting. The Suns are currently without Devin Booker, which is not great for them. Good thing for OKC. And the Thunder, frankly, didn't play awesome against the Suns the last time they played them here in OKC. Mm-hmm. And so I do think like there's always kind of adjustments made from the coaching staff and the players and everything when it comes to playing teams like this. So, and I just think that, frankly, the Thunder are very motivated to get to Vegas and play the NBA Cup again because they remember what happened last year. They are fully capable. They are obviously the best team in the NBA, and I think that they want to go win this thing. And so I do think that I'm just interested to see what this looks like Wednesday night here in OKC.
Yeah, I think that they were frisky the last time they went in. They were in OKC. I mean, they played good basketball. They were very aggressive. One of the best defenses that OKC faced, I think, except for except for the Rockets. The Rockets were very, very good. And I mean, according to Twitter, if Amen Thompson does not go down, then they were winning that game, and they are the only team that has a punch against OKC because of Amen Thompson on Shea.
Is he saying that? I guess I'm not.
Yeah, our dear friend.
As I need to be.
I don't know why his tweets are on my timeline. Red 940, whatever.
Red 94.
Yeah. He was not like as bullish as before, saying maybe people should not counting us out. Which, I mean, nobody is counting Houston out, by the way. Nobody.
No, they're a good team.
They are a very good team. The Suns played OKC with a lot of grit, with decent shot making. And I think that OKC wants to get back on track. I hope that Shea plays, because I think that is a game that he would like to play against his friend Dylan Brooks, national teammates.
Yeah,
which, by the way, gave him fits.
Yeah, I'd say friends.
Yeah. So it's an interesting game, and I think that OKC has something to prove. I mean, not to like really to anybody. They are the championship, but I think that these next few games have a lot of value for them. They were not good against. I would say not even against Houston in the Cup last year, and then against Milwaukee they were very bad. They lost the playoff battle against Houston, if I'm not mistaken. They were just hot for a minute, and they won that game that way, and it did not last against the Bucks. So I really think that I think they have incentives to play better this year.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And I just think the Thunder overall just have their identity more solidified, than they did last year, where it was. I mean, it would be a little bit weird if the Thunder had that kind of floor this year. Like I just think like their floor is significantly raised from where it was. I think winning the title, I think having the cohesiveness, I think that the Thunder found ways down the stretch, and certainly found ways in the playoffs to win games when they weren't shooting well. And that game they weren't shooting well at all, and they could not find even a way to be competitive in that game.
Yeah.
And so I do think that part of it is like identity stuff with the Thunder trying to establish themselves, and just being kind of a new team. And so I do think that there's a pretty big difference from where they were this time last year to now, because I think we were still just kind of discovering. I remember going on even other people's podcasts at the time, and the talk was like, is this team really this good? Are they this good this fast? Are they true title contenders? Can they really win it? Like those are the kind of questions that we're asking.
Oh, until April.
Yeah, I know. Until even before sitting right in here with Alex when he had sunglasses on the day of Game 7, we did a podcast in here, which is a kind of I'd recommend just go and watch it because it's just kind of, it's an interesting little point in time where we still we felt pretty confident the Thunder would win against the Pacers, but heck, even at halftime, I went to go get a coffee at halftime in the media room. The Thunder were down 2, I think, to the Pacers in Game 7 of the NBA Finals. So yeah, you just don't know. But yeah, now like the Thunder have this identity. They've established themselves. They are clearly the favorites. And Derek Parker on the Dream Team show is talking about how he just wonders that if the Lakers and Thunder make it through, is the Lakers whistle going to win the day? in Las Vegas. And
Um,
it's hard to say with that one. Like it's certainly possible. Certainly the league wants it to be Lakers Thunder and not Spurs Suns, which would be a complete disaster for the NBA because it's unlikely Wemby is back
yeah.
by then, and even if Devin Booker's back, no, Devin Booker's just not a draw.
No.
Even with as good as he was years ago, and he's still a really good player. Like he's just not.
Yeah, but even Lakers Phoenix is fine because it gives them a little bit more of a chance. The Lakers are in the finals of the cup, so that is okay as long as the Lakers make it there.
Yeah, we got to get the Lakers to Vegas.
Yeah.
It'll make everybody's experience a little better, or even slightly more annoying. Who knows?
Yeah, Luka will be extremely annoying.
God, it's just so much better theater for the NBA.
Yeah.
Have Shea versus Luka.
Yeah.
I hope that's what we get. I think that's pretty likely at this point with what we're going to see in Las Vegas. So that's pretty big time. I did want to go just through just some lineup data for the Thunder, just because we're starting to reach the point where it's meaningful to look at that kind of stuff. Although with the Thunder, they've had so many guys in and out and have had so many different iterations of the team that it's a little bit more difficult. But yeah, the lineup that's played the most is one they can't even play right now. It's the double big lineup with Shea, Dort, and Case and Wallace. And do you know what their net rating is with that group?
Plus 18.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Plus 18.
Really?
Yeah, it's exactly.
I'm not watching. I'm not like.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then if you sub in AJ Mitchell for Dort, which has like less than half of the amount of minutes together, but
plus 28.
Plus 33.8.
Yeah.
That's just absurd.
The point is
crazy.
AJ is defending the point of attack pretty well. And please don't take it as hating Dort, because it's not. It's really not. But I think that it's great that OKC is training more options at the point of attack, because I don't think that OKC will be able to afford 4 premier top of the crop point of attack defenders.
Yeah.
In case of Wallace, Caruso, Dort, and AJ
They're
Mitchell.
certainly 3 of the top 10 best point of attack defenders in the NBA. I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think that for the most part, teams only have 1 of those guys. And most teams don't have 1 because there's only 10 of them. And the Thunder just happen to have 3 of the best 10.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that in certain moments, in certain matchups, having Lou Dort is something that you cannot do without. But if you don't have that premier guy or that rough shooting night, I think that in general you can have a decent lineup even without Dort, defensively and offensively. So it doesn't surprise me. It's also not always against starters, which is another thing. Dort plays always when the best team the best player on the other team is playing. So there is a little bit of that in Dort's number that is not in the AJ ones. But it doesn't surprise me because the offense flows so much better, and defensively you are not really paying, mainly because OKC did not face too many A1 guy yet. So that is probably bound to change a bit.
Yeah. I wonder what Dort's status will be going into the Cup. Not necessarily against Phoenix, but against the Lakers, just because he's been so pesky. And I don't think Dort played against Luka the last time. It was, I'm certain he didn't, because it was Case and Wallace.
Yeah.
Who, in back-to-back games and literally back-to-back nights in OKC, like defended Steph and then Luka. And it was just like, oh,
yeah,
okay, that's what we're gonna do now. Is like somehow
and Dub is back.
and Dub is back, which is going to be very helpful against the Lakers.
Yeah.
And LeBron is back.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hope that's what we get. Okay, before we get out of here, let's do a tankathon spin.
Yeah. I did one today. 110. I was very happy.
Yeah, that's insane. That is just unfair. Okay, one spin. Here we go. The Thunder fall to 6. Oh, and the Mavs jump to 1. Ooh,
That is not cool. That is absolutely not cool.
6 and 9. Yeah, I
But
don't.
6 and 9 is okay.
Yeah, if they got, I mean, that's just. It's still unfair. It's not quite as. Okay, we'll do one more because I can't. That's just a bad taste in my mouth. The Mavs jumping it to number 1 again.
Yeah.
I would freak out a little bit if
Yeah.
that was the result. Oh, there.
Oh, that's good.
We lose the Jazz pick, but they get the number 1 pick. I'll take that every single week. And you get
Everyone in Thunderland would take that.
and then the Hawks get the 3rd pick. Oh, this is great because the Thunder get the number 1 pick, and then 2, 3, 4, 5 are all in the Eastern Conference. It's like, yes, please send more talent there. Send more talent east. But also let's be greedy and get something really nice here. Okay.
And the first 2 teams in the West are Sacramento and the Jazz. So
there
that's
we go.
cool.
Yeah, Mavs stay down, Blazers stay down. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Number 1, number 18 from the 76ers, and then 26 from the Rockets. So that's unfair.
18 and 26. That is mind-boggling.
Yeah, that's not fair. That is just totally not fair. And like to be able to develop a Darren Peterson, or if they chose Cam Boozer, or I don't know what they would do. But
I watched a little bit of Cam Boozer.
Yeah, thoughts?
Beefy, extremely talented. Want
Crazy
to see more.
Crazy
productive.
Yeah.
It
would give a dimension to this team that they don't have from that spot.
Yeah,
as like a scorer, I don't know. He's a great rebounder.
And he has like great touch on his fingertips.
Great touch. Yeah, Vicini talked about him like he's Kevin Love, like prime Kevin Love.
Yeah. I don't know about this defense. I just saw like a very few clips.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm not ready to like make a firm evaluation one way or the other on his defense, but I mean that would be just absurd if you could develop that guy off the bench and then eventually make him a starter,
Yeah.
You probably would just be like, "Hey, Isaiah, let's keep you for another year. We'll develop Cameron Boozer and Thomas Sorber, for crying out loud, was the 15th pick in the draft."
Yeah.
And just like we'll be able to, we'll kind of just see how it goes. And it doesn't mean you would send Isaiah Hartenstein away at all. Like you just have to give yourself options. And that's what the Thunder have, is options. I don't think there is a defined thing that they're going to do after the season with one guy or another. But I do think that there's a lot of options as to how they can handle all this. And one of the options could be like, hey, OKC ownership group, we have made a very successful franchise. And in fact, one of the most successful franchises in the history of the NBA. Let's pony up the dough. Let's pay this team. That is also an option. Everybody's terrified of the aprons, but truly, it doesn't say you can't keep guys. It doesn't say you can't do it.
It makes it harder.
It makes it more difficult. You certainly get penalized more. But a lot of these penalties that the Thunder aren't paying the tax this year, everybody. So listen, like the frozen picks and all that stuff could be completely out the door by the time we get to the next CBA negotiation. So it may not even be a worry, but like you could just say like, hey, Thunder ownership group, got 2 titles. We're getting a new building. We're having all these things. All this cash flow is coming your way. If they do expansion, you're going to get a boatload of cash in your pocket, you can afford to pay a team that has a chance to be a dynasty. So like that's an option too that's on the table. Just saying, you don't have to make this as cheap as you possibly can. You don't have to do that. And so I think there's a lot of avenues. Now, is that what I just said going to happen? I have no idea. I have no clue.
Yeah.
The thoughts on that.
Let's say that the last two moves that they made are now cheap moves. Well, not the last two. I was thinking about Hartenstein and Caruso. They did not pay them low amount of money, nor did they with Chet, Shea, and Dub.
No, they have a history of stepping up to the plate too, because they could have said at the time of like the PG Mellow teams, like, yeah, we're not doing this. Like, let's trade Russ and let's get out of this and like let's go make some money. Because what happens when when your payroll gets low, your pockets get fatter. Like that happens in the NBA
quickly.
But they didn't. They were committed, and shout out to them for being committed. I think a lot of people omit that portion of like the Thunder's like ownership group, is that they think of them as cheap because of the Harden trade, but they had planned for that time to be expensive, and they planned for this time to be expensive, and it hasn't even gotten expensive yet. So they did plan for this to be an expensive time in OKC. So I don't know what that leads to. I don't know exactly what that looks like, but I think that they're committed to winning and winning at the highest level. And Sam is giving them the opportunity to do so, which is very cool. So yeah. Also this lottery is going to be very exciting. We'll have this lottery while in the midst of a playoff run, and it just doesn't get any better than that. Okay. Thanks for listening to our show. Couple things before we get out of here. Down to Dunk Night, again, is the pinned tweet on Twitter for the Down to Dunk. So just Google, if you search Down to Dunk on Twitter, or if you Google Down to Dunk Twitter, if you don't have a Twitter account, or I guess X would probably be the proper way to say it, you can find that there. I'm going to go ahead and retweet it now, but get your tickets. There's not a ton of tickets left. We'd love to have you guys come out. You get to shoot a half-court shot. You get to come hang out with us, get to take a picture with all the dunkers. It's great. It's been a great time, a fun yearly tradition with the Thunder. We're really grateful for that. Also, if you want to get your Belgian Waffle University shirts, we have those available in 2 different colors. Those are also on the Down to Dunk Twitter page. It has the video attached to it and then a link to our Shopify account. I believe our Shopify account is also the top link on our Twitter account. So you can click on that and then find your way to our shop, where you can get here, I can even share my screen for this as well. Belgian Waffle University shirt. You can also get our Shea shirt. I think that we have some of our post-game Gallo shirts and our Big Dog shirts still available as well. We'd love for you guys to go check all that out. It's at, let's see, down-to-dunk.myshopify.com is where you can find it. So we have our Belgian Waffle University shirt. Shout out to everybody who bought my wife's shirt too. Really helped support Amy and I during that time of her surgery and everything. That was great. We have our Shea shirts, which we have plenty of those in stock. Post-game Gallo, the I Heart shirts, and we have our Big Dog shirts still available with our guy J-Dub wearing it here. So go check those out today. Tons of merch. So go check that out today. Oh, sorry. I left. You're texting me about this, and I'm like messed up. I'll scroll through it again, but we have all these things available to you guys here if you're watching on YouTube or if you're listening on the podcast. Again, that is down-to-dunk.myshopify.com, and you can get all of our merch there. We also have logo tees. So we're going to have more merch coming at you guys as time goes on. And if you'll please go check that out, you can support us. And then, like, I see people wearing them at games, and they come and tell me that they're dunkers, and it makes me feel really happy. So go do that. Okay. Hope you guys have a great rest of your Monday, and we'll talk to you guys again on Wednesday.
Until the dawn.